Hello and welcome to NKTelco Sports. We're here at Lehman High School where the Jackson Center Tigers take on the Lehman Cavaliers. Tonight's game is sponsored by Minster Bank, Sweeterman's Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Cy Sweeterman, Upper Valley Career Center, Wilson Health, Orthopedic Associates of Ohio, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, First National Bank is our scoreboard sponsor as always. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Greg Burning, my partner today, Jeff Henschen. Jeff, first for the visiting team, Jackson Center Tigers, they come in with a 3-4 record, and on the other side, the Lehman Cavaliers 5-4. Both these teams kind of coming off a slow start season, looking for a victory here today.
Yeah, both these teams in a little unfamiliar position. When you look back, Greg, at the 17th, these teams have garnered 5 state titles. Lehman has won 3 of them. Jackson Center has won the previous 2 state titles. So between these two schools, 5 of the past 17 titles belong to one of these schools. The record's a little surprising right now. Both teams usually not under 500, around 500. This early in the season, usually get off to a good start. They've been very strong in recent years, and they're both, as you said, a big game here against 2 storied programs around the area. And hopefully the winner of this game, can take that momentum and start getting some more wins together. Lehman comes off a big loss Thursday night against Riverside, a good team now in the Northwest Central Conference. That's their first loss in the league in the 4 seasons they've been in that conference. And Jackson Center, running the table in the Shelby County Athletic League the past 2 seasons, have already suffered 2 losses in the league there. So, again, teams are coming out to get these 2 squads whenever they show up at the other person's place. So, it'll be a good game, I believe. Both these teams looking for that momentum and consistency and get a big win here early in the season yet.
Should be a good one here at Lehman High School. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening serve. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Sweeterman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Welcome to Lehman High School as we get set for high school girls volleyball between the Lehman Cavaliers and the Jackson Center Tigers. I'm Greg Burning, my partner Jeff Henschen. We'll try to get you caught up here who's on the court. We'll start with the visiting team, Jackson Center Tigers, number 13, Raquel Kessler, number 34, Megan Argabright, number 30, Madeline Plattfoot, number 25, Caroline Frieders, number 15, Caitlin Sosby, and number 32, Connor Pipekey. We'll get you caught up on Lehman's here in a little bit as we get set for the first serve. Cavaliers won the toss, so they will serve first.
See how the Cavaliers come back after a tough loss on Thursday, as I mentioned, against Riverside, Greg, their first NWCC loss in now the 5th season that they've been in that conference.
So here we go, first live action. Shot there from 25 that's Frieders for Jackson Center with the kill to start the match.
35 kills for Frieders coming into this match. Gets the Tigers off to a quick 1-0 start. And good system there, good offense for the Tigers.
It's going to send number 32, Connor Pipke, back to serve. And almost gets the ace. Nice save there momentarily. And Lehman unable to come up with it.
Give Pipke an ace on that one as the ball not playable. Quick 2-0 lead for the Tigers.
That one dug out in the back row by Mcfarland. Quick set up front and scored down by number 8, Olivia Lucia, for the Cavaliers. So they have on the court number 5, Piper Sharkins. Checking in is number 10, Brogan McIver. Number 20, Lauren Mcfarland, number 21, Maddie Mcfarland, number 14, Abby Schutt, and number 15, Mallory Hussey. And serving that one in the net was McIver, so they'll give that one back to Jackson Center, who starts out with an early 3-1 lead here in set number 1. Checking in for the Tigers, number 21, Riley Jackson. And back to serve for the Tigers, number, I think it's 25. We got a bad angle. I think it's Frieders. And it is. And she gets that one right into the body of number 5, Sharkins, and ace there. 2 early ones for Jackson Center.
Sometimes when it's hit right at you, those are the toughest ones to gauge, and kind of ate up the back row player for the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers. Ace for Frieders.
That one dug out by McIver, and it's going to be free balled across by Mcfarland. Opportunity here for Jackson Center early in this match. Tough set that tipped across nicely by number 13, Raquel Kessler.
She had a big night in her win over Fairlawn on Thursday with 19 kills and a 3-0 set win. Leads the team with 117 kills coming into this contest.
And another very good serve served up there by Pipke. Kind of deceiving there. She looks very calm and relaxed back there serving, and she put some mustard on that one. Another good serve, overplayed right into the wheelhouse of Kessler. And Jackson Center off to a great start with a 7-1 advantage.
Right now it's Lehman not able to get good serve reception, cannot get any offense generated, and that's critical when you play 2 teams that can take advantage of those mistakes.
I'm sorry, I said that last serve was Pipke. That was actually Frieders, so she served that one into the net.
2 service errors by the Tigers here in game number 1. Greg, the only points on the board for the Cavaliers have come via Jackson Center mistakes.
Alexis Snipes will check in to serve for the Cavaliers. Dug out there by Jackson Center, and it's going to be free balled across. Chance here for Lehman to get on the board. As they get a kill on the board, he's going right to Mcfarland. Nice shot cross court for the kill.
Well, that time they were able to get in offense. Jackson Center, as you see a replay here, couldn't do much with it. The free ball at this level of volleyball, Greg, you're just asking almost for a self-inflicted wound, because Lehman took advantage of it. The assist by Snipes, the kill by Mcfarland.
Another serve there by Snipes. Here is Kessler, and a nice set in the front row for her. She takes care of the rest. You see a good replay here. She gets it, nice placement back off the net a little bit, gave Kessler some room to work with it. She hammers it home 8-3 on our first National Bank scoreboard in favor of the Tigers. Kaylin Sosby with the serve, a little deep and out of bounds. Another service error for Jackson Center.
3 of the 4 points for the Cavaliers have come via Jackson Center service errors, and you hate to give teams points. Every mistake in volleyball counts. You don't get a side out in a day when that was legal, if you will. So service errors for the Tigers have helped the Cavaliers.
The play there at the net, won by the Cavaliers. Lauren Larger just checked in.
Larger, her first kill of the game, averaging just over 1.5 kills per set.
It's Maddie Mcfarland to serve. Dug out by Sosby. Set across to number 10, Elizabeth Hickey. Put that one in the right spot, gets the kill.
Not a lot of power, Greg, behind the ball, but as you mentioned, the key word, hit it where they're not, and she hit the spot.
Kessler with the serve, picked up by the Cavaliers, tied at the net, won't get it back across. Point goes to Jackson Center.
First step in the getting into the system is a good first pass, and we've seen Lehman here in this first game really struggle to get the ball up to their setter.
That one dug up, dropped over to Lauren Mcfarland, and she's going to knock it home for the kill.
The few times we've seen Lehman, Greg, get into offense, the results have been good.
Yeah, you got it right on, Jeff. They just really struggled early here. Luckily for them, they're only trailing by 4.
Lucia, number 8, back into the front row for the Cavaliers.
Schutt serve, dug out by Jackson Center. Bumped over into the front row. Picked up nicely by Lehman. He'll be able to free ball back across. Another chance here for Jackson Center. Quick set down the middle. Picked up again by Lehman and knocked across by Maddie Mcfarland. And that one will sail just out of bounds. So a kill for Mcfarland.
Good action there. Mcfarland wins the point to 7 for the Cavaliers, her second kill of the set.
Good serve there by Schutt. Quick set at the net, tipped across by Jackson Center. I think we're going to have a double hit called. I'm sorry, somebody in the net.
A lane violation or a net violation on the Cavaliers.
Some break there for Jackson Center.
Well, Lehman's battled back. They got off to a rough start, Greg. The receiving has been suspect, and they've been able to get better and kind of draw back to within 4 now.
Flat-foot serve dug out by Mcfarland. Cross court over to number 4, Larger. Dug out by Jackson Center. Tough pass there to the net. And going into the net, or I should say into the stick there for the out of bounds was a shot off Jackson Center.
The pin.
The antenna.
More commonly known as the pin, but a few call it the antenna.
So shot picked up there by Jackson. They'll push it across. Set right on the roll around to Lucia, picked up by Jackson back on Lehman's side. They're going to free ball across. Jackson's good defense going to give them an opportunity here. Pop it over to number 25 for the Jackson. Saved nicely on Lehman's side, but back into the net, so unforced error there. Mainly from the Jackson defense gives them a point.
Yeah, both teams battled. There were some good volleys, and yeah, Jackson Center's defense came up big, and the end result, the hitting error by the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers, unable to kind of draw within that 3-point mark.
And there's a nice set down the middle to Lucia.
Her first kill. Remember, number 8 for the Cavaliers, Greg, for the past 4 seasons was dominated by Sydney Chapman, who led all of the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers in kills. She finished her career with 1,569 kills here, wearing number 8 for the Cavaliers, now playing college volleyball at Seton Hall University.
This one shot across by Frieders is deep and out of bounds. Sharkins will be credited with the service point.
Closest Cavaliers have been in some time, 12-10.
Sharkins again with the serve. Dug up nicely in the back row. A little too far overplayed. Good defense by Jackson to dig it out. Blocked again, and Jackson not giving up on the play. Lehman with an opportunity here is Maddie Mcfarland down the far sideline. Jackson again able to get a handle on it. Frieders just bumps it across. Again, Maddie Mcfarland blocked at the net. Sosby gets a hand on it, but that time Lehman a little too much. They're very aggressive there to get the kill.
Mcfarland records her 3rd kill of the set. So a good comeback for Coach Greg Snipes' team, trailing by just 1 point.
Sharkins dug up by Sosby. Passed back over to Kessler. Blocked back home by Lucia. Jackson getting their hands on most shots that come back across, but Lucia too much there. We're tied at 12 on the First National Bank scoreboard.
Excellent block by Lucia, and that came from the back row attack from Kessler. A lot of speed, but good timing.
Tough pass up to the front row there by Sosby, and the Lehman Cavaliers have went on a tear and now are on top, 13-12.
Lehman Catholic serving as a team 88% on the season, and that one will be a service error, but they've done a nice job serving right around 90% as a team. You look at Jackson Center, they've already committed 3 service errors here in this game early on. That's kind of what kept Lehman. The only points you could get was that until their offense kind of got on rhythm.
Lehman with another opportunity. Here's Maddie Mcfarland picked up by Jackson. Set to the far side, I'm sorry, set down the middle to Kessler, but that one's wide. Lehman will get it back, leading by 1.
Mentioned that these two teams in the past 16, 17 volleyball seasons have won 5 of the state titles, 3 going to Lehman and 2 going to Jackson Center. Coaches here have been around forever for both these teams.
Blocked at the net by Mcfarland and also number 14, Abby Schutt for Lehman. They now have their biggest lead of the first set at 2. A little too much there from Lucia. That one will go out of bounds.
Talking about the coaching careers of each of these Kim Mets. I believe this is her 30th season, and they've all been at Jackson Center to the best of my knowledge. 30 seasons, has won the state title the past 2 seasons. On the other side, Greg Snipes in his 23rd season. Again, I believe all here at Lehman Catholic, has 3 state titles under his belt. So quality coaches with a long tenure of service.
Lehman dumps it over to Mcfarland, blocked at the net by Jackson. Pushed back over to Kessler. Kessler tip it across and get the lucky bounce and even this set back up at 15.
Kessler, a 5'11 junior, used her long reach, as you'll see here, just to tip it over the front line and got a deflection, or else maybe the defender could have picked it up, but it drops for a kill.
Mcfarland dug up by Sosby and blocked at the net. Again, Abby Schutt aggressive at the net early on here in the first set for Lehman.
She combined with Mallory Hussey, both of them went up for the dual block. But yeah, they've done some good termination blocks here to help earn points. And you don't see that a lot in volleyball. You see a lot of blocks that are called touches as that serve goes out of bounds. But the termination blocks, the ones you get for points, are hard to come by. And you know, credit the defense, as you said. A lot of times those balls come back pretty quick, and the defense can respond back, pick them up very well, and get their team into offense.
Sosby with the floater goes out of bounds, so both teams trade long service points.
4 service errors for the Tigers, 3 by the Cavaliers.
That'll send Maddie Mcfarland to serve for the Cavaliers with a 1-point advantage here in set number 1. Good serve, dug up by the Jackson Center, and there's Kessler. And she's got an opportunity and gets a good set.
That's 5 of them. She leads the team, as I said, coming in with just over 117 kills on the season. 5 here in game 1.
Short serve there, causes some trouble for the Cavaliers.
Wow.
Mcfarland, though, with a good hit across.
Aggressive.
The dump by number 10, Hickey, who will get the kill for Jackson Center.
Hickey records her 2nd kill.
Kessler back to serve again, trailing by 1. Dug up by McIver, front row, Schutt. That one goes out of bounds. Good setup there by Lehman. That's going to lead us to a Lehman Cavalier timeout. We'll take a break as well. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Welcome back to Lehman. We're here at set number 1, where the Jackson Center Tigers have regained the lead by 2 at 19-17. Kessler again with the soft floater serve. Picked up. And the hard shot by Larger will record the kill.
Larger records her 2nd kill. She comes in averaging 1.5 kills per set and got really good elevation, Greg. You mentioned the hard hit. She got on top of the ball, and when they're going down towards ground versus kind of horizontally, much difficult to pick up, and Cavaliers back to within 1.
Schutt to serve, picked up by Hickey and bumped across by Hickey, and the Cavaliers unable to come up with it. So a break there for Jackson Center. And that's going to send number 30, Madeline Platfoot, back to serve for the Cats. I'm sorry, the Tigers.
Right colors.
Yeah, right? Quick set up front by Lucia, picked up by Jackson Center.
Heck of a pickup by Sosby.
And that one by Larger won't clear the net. As Jackson Center able to creep back to a 3-point advantage. Platfoot again to serve. And good eyes there by Maddie Mcfarland. Pulls back at the last second as that one sails out of bounds.
5 now service errors, and you just, again, you hate to, those, as a coach, I wouldn't think, you want to serve aggressive, but boy, those errors.
The 3 points.
Yeah, it is, and you have a chance to spread the deficit, and you kind of give Lehman a free chance to come back.
Good save at the net, almost, I should say. I thought she was going to get away with it. There was Platfoot as that first pass was right into the net. Toughest ones to get out.
Tough to bring back.
Lauren Mcfarland with another good
back row player, so it's hard for her to go up and attack the ball. because you can't do that when you're in front of the 10-foot line.
Lucia with another solid hit, and just like that, we're even again at 21. Lehman goes on another nice little run.
Taking a look at it here, and Lucia, again, very nice set. They go quick. The defensive blockers could not get up in time. Service ace. Remember, all this little run started with the service error by the Tigers, and I'm not saying that was the reason, but you take that away, you give them a breath of life, and they've taken advantage of it and record an ace here themselves.
22-21 on our first National Bank scoreboard in our first set. Quick set over to Frieder's. Nice vision as she dumps it in to tie us back at 22.
Frieder's her second kill to go along with a couple aces. More importantly for her, it brings her team back even at 22 each.
Hickey to serve for Jackson Center. And again, deep, as Jeff mentioned, that is 6 service errors here in this first set. And that's going to put Lehman up by 1 at 23-22. You have to win each of these sets by 2. First to 25 in the first 4 sets. Sharkins with the serve, dug up by Sosby. Back set to Kessler. She'll dump it across. Chance here for Lehman. Cross court to Mcfarland. Jackson Center digs it. Tough pass handled there by number 32, Pipke. She did not have a lot to work with there and just bumped it over.
Kept it alive and dropped it in bounds. A big point for the Tigers to avoid game point. Now they have tied it up.
Served by Pipke. Too far, dug back up by Pipke and pushed across by Kessler. Going to be called for a double hit. So set point here in the first set for the Lehman Cavaliers as Lucia goes back to serve. Gets a hold of it. Might have went out of bounds. Played in, though, by Jackson Center. Free ball across. Good chance for Lehman to take away this first set. Blocked at the net by Jackson. And here's Maddie Mcfarland with the strong hit. Dug up by Pipke. Tough pass across court again by Frieders. And Frieder's going to record the point there, I believe. The scoreboard's a little off here in the stadium. It should be 24 all.
I'm not real sure how it even, what happened. It was blocked by the umpire,
Yeah, she saved it in, so it's 25-24. No, it should be 24 all as that one goes in by Lehman. They were just ahead of themselves. Now it's 25-24. Another set point for the Cavaliers.
Abby Shook, number 14 with the kill. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up here with what's going on also. I assume it's right as a substitution for the Cavaliers, and game point serving now will be Alexis Snipes.
Snipes served well long. Not a tough play there for Jackson Center as that was out by major feet there, 5 to 10 feet past the out of bounds line. So we're even again at 25. Sosby back to serve for the Tigers. Again, you have to win this set by 2. Pushed over to Lauren Mcfarland, blocked at the net by Kessler. And Jackson Center will have their first set point here in set number 1.
Kessler, her first block to go along with 5 kills.
Timeout on the court. We're going to keep it right here. I'd like to again thank our sponsors for today's action. American Trim, Cy Sweeterman, Carriage Works, Wilson Health, Orthopedic Institute of Southwest Ohio, Kogi Plumbing, Minster Bank, Sweeterman's Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, and our scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank, Think First. So Jackson Center back to serve. Sosby with the opportunity to win this one for the Tigers. Picked up by Lehman, pushed to the middle to Lauren Mcfarland. Deep shot picked up by Sosby and going to have to be free balled across. Nice play there by the Cavaliers. They get it back. Lauren Mcfarland at the net through the double block will record the kill. 26 all.
5'6" sophomore. As you mentioned, Greg powers it through 2 blockers and keeps the Cavaliers in the game.
Big point there. It sends Maddie Mcfarland back to serve. Dug up by Sosby. Good pass to Frieders. And Kessler able to get a handle on. Boy, Jackson has really had a tough time with that first pass. They get him right up into the net a little bit too far. They've been fortunate to hang into this one.
And I believe it was 21 that for the Tigers. Was it Riley Jackson that punched it across?
I believe so.
Okay, game point.
Pushed across the Jackson Center, right up front to Frieders. This is Pipke. She'll shoot it deep, mishandled by McIver, and that's going to do it here in the first set as the Jackson Center Tigers take it 28-26. We'll take a break and be back with set number 2. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
I happened to pivot wrong and hurt my knee. I ended up tearing my ACL. It hit me pretty hard because I love playing lacrosse. I met my surgeon and he made me feel confident about being able to get back into playing lacrosse. They always just took such good care of me and they really were confident in what they were doing, which made me feel confident that I would be able to get back to playing lacrosse.
Welcome back to Lehman High School as we get set for set number 2. The first one taken by Jackson Center, 28-26.
A competitive game. The Tigers got out to a quick start against Lehman Catholic. But Lehman battled back, took a brief lead, maybe at 13-14, somewhere in that margin. We battled back basically 1 or 2 points the rest of the way, went into overtime, as Greg mentioned, 28-26. Tigers record 14 kills in set 1, led by Raquel Kessler's 5. Lehman just 10 kills, and they were led by Maddie Mcfarland with 3, and each team had a number of errors hitting-wise. The Tigers, just 6 service errors, part of 11 either hitting, serving, or ball handling mistakes they made. Lehman Catholic also 4 service errors, part of their 9 errors they made on defense, or on offense as well.
Here we go, set number 2. Started a lot like the first one with Lucia. With a quick hit up front, records the kill for the Cavaliers.
Lucia had 2 kills in the first set. Give her 3 now on this afternoon game, as originally scheduled for morning serve, and it was pushed back. I believe some ACT test going on.
McIver served low and in the net. We'll give it back to Jackson Center. As Jeff mentioned, there were quite a few service errors in that first set. Both teams hoping to clean that up.
6 by the Tigers and 4 by the Cavaliers.
There's Pipke. This is over to Maddie Mcfarland, blocked at the net by Kessler. And also there was Megan Argerbright for Jackson Center. Pipke back again to serve. Dug up by McIver. Quick set. Picked up by Jackson Center and bumped across there by number 25, Frieders. I don't know if you practiced that one, if that's just a reflex and you got lucky.
A little bit, both. It is reflex, and it was a little lucky, and it drops on the Lehman Catholic side for the 3rd Tiger point.
McFarland to McFarland, blocked at the net, but out of bounds. So that point will go over to Lehman.
The McFarland sisters working well there, as younger sister Lauren setting Maddie, who went off a double block to earn that kill.
Alexis Snipe checks in for the Cavaliers to serve. Picked up by Pipke, passed over to Kessler. She'll bump it across. Lauren McFarland bumps it across. Jackson, tough time handling it, will knock it back across. But McIver unable to handle it. Not necessarily a hard shot by Jackson Center, but decent placement. McIver not able to come up with it. And the Tigers start off with a 4-2 lead, much like they did in the first set. Frieders serve, dug up by Lehman. Quick set to Schutt. Jackson able to handle it, and a little confusion there almost cost them as they knock it across. Quick set to Lauren Mcfarland, picked up again by Jackson, this time pushed across. Opportunity for Lehman. Here's Maddie Mcfarland blocked at the net, and the block goes out of bounds, so Maddie Mcfarland will record another kill.
It's her second of the set, both of them coming off of would-be blockers at the net by the Tigers.
Maddie Mcfarland to serve, trailing by 1 on the Cavaliers. Pushed up front, here's Kessler, look out.
Wow, nice hit. Good
nice
pickup.
save by Lehman. Maddie Mcfarland started it. Cavaliers get it across. They go right back to Kessler. This time she'll dink it, and she'll get the kill.
With a change of pace, Kessler drilled one that Mcfarland kept alive. Then on the finishing point here, really a change up and an off-speed pitch, and it drops and it works. It's a good idea by Raquel Kessler, 5'11" junior.
Brianna Davis will check in for Jackson Center. Going right to the service line. Picked up by McIver, right at the net. Nice save by Lehman, and good push there to the back row by Schutt to record the kill.
Good court recognition. She sensed or felt or saw whatever that the defense for the Tigers really bunched up around the 10-foot line. Simply put it again where they were not, dropped it back near the 30-foot mark.
Schutt to serve. That one is deep and out of bounds. The air must be thinner down there today or something, because a lot of balls are floating deep and out of bounds.
Yes, that would be very frustrating.
So here's Mcfarland, passed it back to Schutt, picked up by Sosby for Jackson Center, and bumped across by number 32, Connor Pipke.
Pipke finds pay dirt, her third kill on the afternoon. She had 2 in set 1. This one here gives her team a 3-point lead in game 2.
Kessler with a serve, dug up by Schutt, played over to Larger. Larger with a good strong hit, blocked to the net by Jackson. This time blocked by Lehman. Here's an opportunity for Jackson, gonna have to bump it across. Lauren Mcfarland with the dig, and I'm sorry, Maddie Mcfarland with the dig, and Lauren Mcfarland with the hit, goes into the net. Point recorded by Jackson. Looks a lot like set number 1. They went on a little bit of a run. They have a 4-point lead. I believe it's the same score as set 1 was. See if Lehman can respond. Lauren Mcfarland free balls it across. Jackson looking to attack. There's Pipke, nice block at the net by Lauren Mcfarland and Lucia. Checking in will be number 15, Mallory Hussey for the Lehman Cavaliers. She'll go to the front row.
First termination block here in set 1 for the Cavaliers, or in set 2 for the Cavaliers. They had 3 termination blocks in set 1.
Knocked across, picked up by Larger, set it back to Larger. Cross-court shot right on the line. A good placement there by Larger.
And she used about the biggest distance she could, being in the left front, and hit it to the deep corner opposite her. She used all of that distance and got it to catch the line, or right in front of the line, for the 5th Lehman Catholic point.
Hickey digs it out for Jackson Center. Kessler from the 10-foot line doesn't clear. And as we mentioned before, Lehman was able to put a couple runs together in the first set. They're going it again here in the second. They've got to the lead back within 2. Mcfarland, another nice serve, dug up by Kessler. Quick set to Hickey. She'll dump it across. Lehman able to dig it. Here is Lauren Larger, cross-court shot dug up by Sosby. Pushed over to Pipke and dug up again by Larger. They go right back to Larger, just like a couple possessions before. Jackson, though, able to recover and bump it across. Another good opportunity for Lehman. Wheel route picked up, though, by Jackson. Pushed over to Pipke. Pipke can't get it across. A hard-fought point there by the Cavaliers to cut the lead to dead even. 4 straight points. I believe it was 8-4 before Mcfarland went back to serve. Right down the middle is Hickey, blocked by Lucia.
Lucia being big at the net. She had a solo block in game 1. Solo block here, plus she assisted on another one, so a couple blocks for her, and her team is now taking a 1-point lead.
Mcfarland serve again, pushed across by Hickey. Schutt right to the front row, quick play to Lucia, dug up by Jackson. Good defense there Bumped across by Riley, goes out of bounds. And the Lehman route continues. I should say route, streak run.
Yeah. 6 unanswered, you're right. It was 8-4 for sure. And they've run off 6 unanswered.
And they are not intending to slowing down. Quickly back to the line, Mcfarland. At the net, blocked across. Still on the Jackson Center side. Here's Hickey. Picked up and pushed to the front. Quick hit, Lucia. Nice dig, but I think Lucia into the net on the hit. So tough break there by Lehman as their little run comes to an end, but they now have a 1-point advantage.
Jackson Center needed a break. They get one. They trail now by 1 after giving up the 4-point cushion.
Plattfoot to serve, dug up by Mcfarland. Front row larger. Strong cross-court hit, dig up by Kessler. Push to the front row. Frieders, 3 balls it across. Lehman back on the attack. Deep shot, nice hands Kessler. Push to the front, a little too far. And into the net was Jackson Center, so that pass from the back row pushed up a little too close to the net. That's what you tend to see is a body that runs into the net because they're trying to save the ball. Leads to a Lehman 2-point advantage. Sharkins back to serve. Sosby able to handle it. Pushed over to Frieders on the run, blocked. Here is Maddie Mcfarland, cross-court dug up by Sosby. Front net, Hickey with the soft touch and the kill.
Hickey and Kessler, we've seen them both today kind of elevate and use their size and just the off-speed push it where they're not, and good play by the 5'11 junior.
Saw that big hole on the right-hand side. Sosby to serve for the Tigers, picked up by Schutt. Right to the front row, nice play, and again, Lucia has done well with that quick set.
Mentioned Hickey, though, the last girl to score for Jackson Center, 5'9 sophomore, but both her and Kessler have been playing big up the front there for the Tigers today. Both have used off-speed attacks to score points.
Brogan McIver to serve for Lehman, and that one is deep and out of bounds.
It was inbounds if we're playing basketball.
Right.
Third service error. Jackson Center's third service error this set for Lehman. Tigers yet to commit one. They had 6 in game 1.
Pipke to serve. Picked up by Maddie Mcfarland. Quick set by Lauren McFarland. Blocked at the net by Kessler.
Both her and Frieders up there to double block, and Kessler probably had 100% of the contact. Good net play by her, and it evens it up at 12. She's assisted on a couple blocks here in game number 2 for the Tigers.
Pipke serve, dug out. Here's Maddie McFarland. Laces it down the line. Nice shot there. Lehman able to recover the lead.
McFarland now equaling her kill in game 2 here at 3 is what she did in game number 1. McFarland, a 5'8 senior, puts her team up by 1 as we're halfway through game 2.
Snipes to serve, catches the tape, and patiently at the net, paying right on cue was Schutt. She got a gift there and took care of it.
That's what you need to do, and sometimes those are the difficult ones when it doesn't come from the normal spot. And the overpass, whatever you want to say, the miss hit gave her a chance to attack, and she was able to do so and not get into the net and score the 14th point.
There's a pass over to Kessler, dug out by Lehman, back on the Jackson Center side. Trying to set Kessler again, and they do. Blocked at the net, though, nicely by McFarland. They'll set McFarland. Good shot, back row, dug up by Sosby. Back to Kessler. I'm sorry, that's Frieders, dug up by Lehman. Jackson again. Here's Kessler down the middle, blocked again, but this time it'll hit pay dirt.
Kessler had to work out of that time. They went to her a few times, and I know that I believe it was number 10 for the Cavaliers. McIver dug up some shots, and then eventually, though, Kessler able to get her second kill of the set and bring the Tigers back to within 1.
Frieders with a nice serve, blocked at the net. Good recognition by Schutt. Nobody in the back row.
That might be the second time she's done that, or the second time the Cavaliers have pushed it deep, sensing or feeling that the entire Jackson Center defense really pushed up close to the net.
And I believe you're right. I think it was Schutt earlier in this set or in the last set that she did it then as well. Gives the Cavaliers a 15-13 advantage. Here is Maddie McFarland. Dug out by Jackson Center. Right down the middle. And a nice save by Lehman, and they're going to get the point. What a bizarre sequence that was. Kessler with a strong hit.
Not for sure. Was it Snipes the last one to touch it? If it would be, we'll give her the kill. But yeah, a bizarre play kind of reaction and just good court awareness, and not for sure how many times out of 10 that will work, but that
Yeah.
one time was all you needed, a 3-point lead for the Cavaliers.
Maddie Mcfarland with the serve. Dug up by Pipke, quick set. Kessler can't get it across. It was blocked at the net. Free ball across. Lehman with a good opportunity. Cross court to Larger. Strong shot, deep and out of bounds. A much needed point there for Jackson Center. Checking back in will be Brianna Davis to serve for the Tigers as they trail 16-14 here in set number 1. The Tigers won the first set. Dug up by McIver, right up to the net. Good quick hit there by Schutt, and she'll record the kill.
Schutt with 4 kills here in game number 2. She's been very active, it seems like. Again, that time a more traditional attack. We've already seen her at least once push it deep to a spot when the defense was up by the net. Cavaliers up by 3.
Kessler with the dig, gets it right back. Nice dig by Mcfarland. Schutt, and that'll be free ball across. Good chance here for Jackson, right to the front of the net. Going to Hickey this time. She tries to dump it. Saved by Snipes. Maddie Mcfarland with the hit. Dug up by Jackson Center. Here's Kessler. She'll knock it deep. And out of the reach is Schutt to record the kill.
Again, another hard-driven spike. Kessler took a lot off of it. And just take another look at it here. Just sensed or saw the opening before the set came. And a lot of times, if you know your system, you know that where the ball is going to be, you can take a peek, knowing that your team's in offense. You can take a peek, look maybe where the holes are at before you go to work. When things aren't going so well, a lot of times you're watching the ball, just making sure, because you're not sure if you're going to be the next one to get it or not, or make a play. And it all comes down to making a good first pass.
A couple quick points there by Jackson Center. We're at a 1-point game again. And Jackson with the ball here right down the middle of Hickey. And again, she's able to dump it into the opening. And just like that, we're even at 17. We're going to have a Lehman timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Welcome back to Lehman High School. We're even at 17 all here in set number 2. The Jackson Center Tigers won the first one, and they have the serve by Kessler. Quick hit there by Lucia, able to record the kill for the Cavaliers.
3rd kill for Lucia, a couple blocks as well this set. Cavaliers back on top by 1.
Checking in for Lehman is number 15, Mallory Hussey. This is Lauren Mcfarland with the serve. Dug up by Jackson. Quick set by Frieders. Blocked at the net by Lucia.
5'9" sophomore having a heck of a game number 2. Had a good game 1 as well with a block in that one. Now has assisted or been part of 3 termination blocks here in game number 2.
Lauren Mcfarland again to serve for Lehman. Picked up by Riley. Frieders right at the net. Nice save. Bumped across by Jackson. Going to go way wide and out of bounds. So again, three straight points now for Lehman to take a 20-17 advantage. Timeout on the floor. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors: American Trim, Cy Sweeterman, Carriage Works, Wilson Health, Orthopedic Institute of Southwest Ohio, Kogi Plumbing, Minster Bank, Streeterman's Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, and our scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. I'd like to mention also at the conclusion of this game, Jeff and I will name a player of the game for the Lehman Cavaliers, and that player of the game is sponsored by NKTelco. Big serve coming up here for Lehman. They got a 3-point advantage. looking to take set number 2 as they were defeated in the first.
5 points away are the Cavaliers, so critical here to keep the serve in bounds and let your defense go to work.
Hickey pushes it across, dug up by Lehman. Back over to Hussey, and Hussey gets it through the double block for the kill.
Her first kill of the match, a big one to give them now that 4-point lead with just 4 points to go.
21-17 Cavaliers. Lauren Mcfarland with the serve. Tough play there by Jackson, mishandled. And the unforced error is going to give the Cavaliers a 5-point lead here now in set number 2. That one dug up by Riley. Frieders back set to Kessler. Picked up by Lauren Mcfarland, dumped over to Hussey. Sosby with the dig. Jackson back on the attack, dumped across by Hickey. And that'll end the Lehman Cavalier run. A lot of damage done though now as Jackson trails by 4.
A good run by the Cavaliers. Gave them a bigger lead, if you will, with not many points to go, but Elizabeth Hickey, the 5'9" sophomore, again, touching it and putting it right where the Cavaliers defense is not.
A little mishit there and a little out of timing was Lehman. And that'll be another point for Jackson as they cut the lead to 3. Another timeout. We'll take a quick break as well. You're watching high school volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
22-19 in favor of the Cavaliers here in set number 2. Jackson Center's Pipke serving, dug out by Lauren Mcfarland right at the net. Good play by Lehman Lucia. And she was able to bump it through 2 blockers. Big point there for the Cavaliers.
Lucia doing a nice job on that pass. It was close to the net. Somehow got it through the defense and stayed out of the net herself and earned the 23rd point on her 4th kill of set 2 to go along with 3 blocks.
Sharkins here to serve for Lehman. Dug up by Kessler. Pushed over to Frieders. Dug up by Schutt in the back row. She'll get set, knock it across from the 10-foot line. Frieders' deep shot, dug up by Sharkins. Free ball coming here for Jackson Center. Picked up right up front, tough pass. Dug up nicely though. Dig dug up by Lehman. Battle at the net, and again, won by the Cavaliers. Number 21, Maddie Mcfarland takes that one. And set point coming here, multiple set points coming for Lehman.
Not for sure if she blocked it or killed. I had a bad angle, but she scored the point. We'll go ahead and give her the kill.
Sharkins dug up by Frieders, back to Frieders, and she'll record the kill.
Her 2nd kill of game 2, a big one, as Greg mentioned. Jackson Center now, the back's against the wall. They've got to keep this rotation alive to win game 2.
Sosby serving, Jackson trailing by 4. Picked up by Schutt. Quick set at the net, bumped across, saved by Jackson Center. Didn't clear the net, so we're going to have a 4-hit call. That'll do it for set number 2. It's taken by the Cavaliers 25-20. We'll take a quick break and be back with set number 3. You're watching high school volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back to Lehman High School as we get set for the third set. Each team taking one here. Been two very competitive sets so far.
Lehman did a much better job game two with 15 kills compared to 10 for the Tigers. So they did a much better job attacking, and
Jackson Center unable to get that one across on 3 hits, so a point will go to Lehman.
Lehman did continue to have a little problem serving. Still 3 service errors in game number 2. Make it another one here to start game number 3. The Tigers
announcer cursed him right into that.
You know, the Tigers responded very nicely. Remember, they go back to set 1. They had 6 service errors. They committed 0 service errors in game number 2. So you commit 6 errors in game 1 and win. You commit none in game 2 and lose.
A quick set there blocked by Kessler for the kill. I think Jackson Center was ready for that one as Lehman has ran that play numerous times to Lucia. Kessler does a nice job blocking that one to give the Tigers an early 2-1 advantage.
Kessler 4 blocks in the match thus far.
That one going to be free balled the short. So Jackson coming out fired up here in set number 3, lead 3-1. Pipke to serve, dug up by Maddie Mcfarland. Set back to Maddie and dug up by Plattfoot. Free balled across by Kessler. Here's Hussey, her shot blocked at the net again. Kessler there once again for Jackson.
5'11" junior making her presence known. Not a surprise, she's been active very much for the Tigers today, but 2 quick kills here already to give the Tigers a 4-1 advantage.
Nice deep serve there by Pipke. Maddie Mcfarland knocks it across, dug up by Sosby. Set close side here by Frieders, blocked at the net. Gonna say it didn't clear. 4 hits against Jackson. That will send Lucia back to serve for the Lehman Cavaliers. Lucia's shot is wide on the far side, out of bounds.
2 quick errors again. Lehman giving up those easy points to the Tigers, and the Tigers have done a nice job serving. As I mentioned, no service errors in game number 2.
Frieders to serve for Jackson. Deep serve. Bumped there by McIver, tracked down by Lehman. And bumped across by Jackson. Lehman again on the attack. Here's Maddie Mcfarland. Shot far side is deep and out of bounds.
4 errors to start game 3 for the Cavaliers have aided now the Tigers to a 6-2 cushion, or a 6-2 lead.
Here's Hussey hitting through the block and recording the kill. Hussey will check out. Number 3, Alexis Snipes, will check back in for Lehman. That serve, nice line drive, picked up by Jackson, and hammered it home as Kessler.
Kessler now has recorded 3 points here in game number 3 already. Her first kill there, and along with that is the 2 solo blocks she has already garnered to give her team now a 4-point lead.
Sosby serve, dug up by McIver. Cross court pass to Lauren Mcfarland, who records the kill. Larger checks back in for Lehman, trailing by 3 in set number 3.
Both these teams you mentioned with a strong tradition they've had, both starting off the season right around that 500 mark. So big match today to try to build on some momentum and put a win streak together.
Speaking of momentum, Kessler is rolling here to start the 3rd set as she records another kill.
She goes to the back row, maybe a blessing for the Cavaliers, as she's already recorded 2 kills and 2 blocks while she was in the front row. But don't be surprised that she will get an opportunity to hit out of the back row as well. But right now, she's not able to block at least.
Nice play there by Lehman to come up with the block. Here's Mcfarland, and she's blocked at the net by number 32, Pipke. Jackson has had a lot of success at the net here early on in set number 3.
Even with Kessler in the back row, Pipke picks up the slack, the third termination block here in game 3 for the Tigers.
Frieder's set, bumped across by Plattfoot. And I believe had someone in the net there.
Attempting to block the the Cavaliers touched the net. Pipke, or Plattfoot, number 30, will get the kill.
Short serve dug up by Lehman. Quick set across, picked up by Jackson. Set over to 32 Pipke. And now bumped across by Lehman. Right at the net. Nice save there by Plattfoot. And Jackson able to dig it out once more. Here's Plattfoot set over to Hickey, who dumps it across. Lehman with the nice save. Here's Lauren Mcfarland on the attack, dug up by Sosby. She'll dump it to Pipke, hit it cross court, dug up by McIver. Right up front, and the nice dump across by Schutt.
Good assist by Snipes, as it was a difficult pass and they went in rhythm. And Schutt again did a nice job finding or sensing or knowing where that hole was at. And just simply did her best to put in that direction and record the kill.
Schutt to serve. Lucia checked back in for Lehman. And that one's free ball across by Sosby. Lehman back on the attack. Quick hit to Lucia. And she takes care of it. And here Lehman trying to make another run as they trail by 4.
Dig a hole and climb out.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Back-to-back good assist by Snipes, and Lucia records her first kill of game 3. She had 2 in game 1 and 4 in game number 2, 7 on the afternoon.
Nice serve there by Schutt. Hickey able to dump it across. Nice save by Lauren Mcfarland, and Lehman somehow gets it across.
Snipes with the save.
And Lehman able to track it down once again, and free ball just across. Jackson Center, tough handle with it, push it back the other way. Both teams scrambling just to get the hands on the ball. Here's the larger, dug up by Kessler in the back row. Pushed forward to Pipke. Deep shot and out.
Long volley results in a hitting error by the Tigers. Their third hitting error of game 3. Allows the Cavaliers to draw back to within 3 after again starting off or giving the Tigers a lead that they got to battle back from.
Good placement there by Hickey, but wouldn't have mattered anyway as the Cavalier in the net.
Attempting to block again. The set was close to the net. Cavaliers too close to it. They violate that, and Hickey gets the kill.
Pushed right up into the net. Lucia with the strong hit.
For a heck of a job by Snipes. Staying out of the net, bringing it back. Take another look here. Watch. See once. Yep. Good look at it.
Serve there by Lane. So Lehman back on the attack. Good shot by Larger. Picked up by the Cavaliers. Frieder's on the attack. Lehman with the dump. Number 20, Lauren Mcfarland.
Good presence by Mcfarland. sensing the hole and able to find a nice spot to earn the point.
Serving there, number 5, Brianna Davis. As it's bumped across by Frieders. Nice recover by Lehman. Lauren Mcfarland free balls it across. I'm sorry, it was Maddie Mcfarland. Back on the attack is Pipke as she gets it through the blockers and records the kill.
Good strength by Pipke. Again, muscled her through with a lot of powers. 2 would-be blockers up there could not push it back on the Tigers' side.
Pipke back to serve. Jackson Center with a 2-point lead. Quick hit to Lucia. And she records the kill.
She was in the net. They're going to say, so no kill for Lucia. Point will go to the Tigers. Maybe on the follow-through, she might have caught tape.
So Pipke will serve again. Pushed up front by Schutt. Try that again. Lucia's shot blocked that time. Here's Frieders as she gets it through the blockers to record a kill. So big swing there, a 4-point swing for Jackson. Timeout taken on the floor. We'll take a break. You're watching high school volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us! Welcome back to Lehman. We're here in set number 3. As the Jackson Center Tigers won the first set, the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers came back and won the second. And now here in the third, the Tigers have a 4-point advantage. Here's Maddie Mcfarland on attack, dug up by Sosby for Jackson Center. Frieders through the blocker, dug up by Schutt, and hit across by Maddie Mcfarland. Goes out of bounds. Point to the Tigers. They now on a 5-0 run.
Good run by Jackson Center to spread it out by 5. The Cavaliers now 3 hitting errors to go along with a couple service errors and another unforced error. So they've given the Tigers 6 points here in game number 3.
Maddie Mcfarland shot can't be handled by Plattfoot. Kill will go to the Cavaliers.
Good swing by Mcfarland. They needed a good answer to break the run and get a rotation and more importantly get the point on the board and get the ball back and try to climb back here in game number 3.
Lucia served, picked up by Jackson. Kessler, Lucia with a nice save. Here's Maddie Mcfarland, dug up by Pipke. Pushed over to Frieders. Frieders blocked at the net and free balled across by Jackson. Far side, Maddie Mcfarland blocked in the net. 4 hit called there as that one did not clear. Jackson able to hold on to a 5-point advantage here in set number 3 at 17-12 on our First National Bank scoreboard. Number 23, Riley Jackson will check back in. Frieders serving for Jackson Center. Dug up and hammered home as the overplay goes right to Kessler.
Excellent timing by the 5'11 junior. Again, seeing it come back, she waited and then had an excellent attack. Nothing the Cavaliers could really do, and a 6-point lead now for Jackson Center.
Maddie McFarland's shot dug up by Sosby, pushed the front row to Jackson. She can't quite get it across, but I think did clear the blocker. I missed that one. It must have got.
Sure if it was blocked for point or if it never made it.
Jackson Center keeps it on that. Another serve by Frieders. Here is Maddie McFarland. Pushed over the far side, miss hit there. That one will go into the net and give it back to Lehman.
Well, critical point of the game now. Jackson Center nearing that 20 mark, which means nothing other than the first one's there, but you hate to let Jackson get to 20 when you're still only have 13. So big play here, big series for the Cavaliers, and tough to do that with Kessler hitting that well.
And another good set to Kessler. She hammers that one home, and as Jeff mentioned, they now lead 20-13. As Hickey will check back into the front row.
Down 7 with 5 left. It's about like match playing golf. You know, the holes are running out, and here the points are running out. You need to get some offense and get the ball back.
Another shot to Kessler and another hammer. The Jackson Center going to the well, and rightfully so.
The well is wet.
Yeah.
She has 5 here in this game, 3 along with 2 blocks. It came early in the set. She's been big for the Tigers here in game number 3 and really for the match as well.
And a miss hit there by Lehman. Failed to get it across. So Jackson Center just 3 points shy of taking set number 3. As they now lead by 9.
Yeah, 9 up with 3 to play. Usually very difficult for teams to come back.
Tipped across, blocked at the net by Jackson. Going back to Kessler. She dumps this one. Nice save by Snipes. Maddie Mcfarland blocked at the net, picked up by Jackson. They're going to push it right to the middle to Hickey. Dug up and saved by Sharkins. Back and forth we go. Mishandled there. Kill going to be recorded by Lauren Mcfarland for the Cavaliers.
5'6" sophomore. Mcfarland with her 3rd kill. And good swing by the sophomore. And her sister now, Maddie, will try to serve. And again, need to make a run. And volleyball is a game of runs. If you can get one going, you know, you can make up a few points, but it's 1 point at a time. No 3-point shots in volleyball. You got to get them 1 at a time.
Kessler down the middle again.
Her 6th kill.
Rinse and repeat here late in the 3rd set. She goes back to the service line. Plattfoot will check back in for Jackson Center. Served by Kessler, picked up by McIver. Pushed over to Lauren Mcfarland, dug up by Frieders right at the net. Plattfoot unable to get it over, so point there will stay with Lehman. As Jeff mentioned, they're running out of time. 23-15 here in set number 3. They need to run 8 straight off with no mistakes just to get back into it. Hickey dumps it across, dug up by Lehman, pushed over to number 4, Larger. Back at the net is Hickey. That shot pushed far by Mcfarland will go out of bounds. Set point to Jackson Center. Blackfoot back to serve. Dug up by Schutt, pushed over to Lauren Mcfarland. Nice shot for the kill.
4 kills for Lauren Mcfarland, and a big game for her in set number 3, hitting well, but again, now let's take a good look at it. Nice diagonal right in front of the back row defense of the Tigers.
Lauren Mcfarland to serve for Lehman, picked up by Sosby, pushed over to Frieders. Frieders through the blockers, nice save there by Lauren Mcfarland. Free balling across is Lehman. Frieders with the shot, just dumps it across, and that'll do it here for set number 3 as Jackson takes it 25-16. We'll be back with set number 4. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony home management system. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CERA and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slankowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
Welcome back to Lehman as we get started in set number 4. The Jackson Center Tigers on top 2-1 as they set up on the far side there to Frieders. Lehman digs it up. Quick set to Lucia. Nice save by Sosby and free ball across. That was hit across by Schaefer. Here is Maddie Mcfarland right on the line for the first point of set number 4.
5'8" senior Mcfarland, just 1 kill in set number 3. Gets 1 here. She now has 9 in the match.
Lucia to serve. Picked up by Pipke and bumped across by Schaefer. Back set to Hussey. Dug up by Kessler and back set over to Pipke. Good defense by Lehman. They have to bump this one across. They just do get it across. Good opportunity for Jackson Center. Miscommunication, lucky break off the Kessler hit.
That was kind of an awkward series.
Yeah, nobody looked real ready to set the ball up and hit it in a good flow. And Jackson lucky to get that point to even us up here at 1. Here's Maddie Mcfarland, strong shot dug up by Pipke. Flatfoot over to Frieders, blocked at the net by Lehman, back to Frieders. She won't get that one across.
That's what a double block will do for you. She had the previous one right back in her face. Now trying to definitely hit around the blockers, just didn't get enough of it across the net. But that's what happens when you get those good touches. The hitters know that, and then you begin to have to think about more stuff, if you will, versus having no one up there to try to block.
Here's Mcfarland, her shot blocked at the net as there's a Cavalier in the net.
I believe it was a tie. You're right, it was I thought Jackson Center was in the net. Not such, it was a Cavaliers, so.
Riley Jackson checks back in for Jackson Center. Frieders to the service line. We're even here at 2 apiece. That one just clears, picked up by Lauren Mcfarland and blocked at the net by Kessler.
That's her 4th solo block of the match for Kessler, and she's been a part of 2 combination blocks, so very big court presence today for Raquel Kessler.
Nice save there by McIver. Maddie Mcfarland dug up by Pipke. Cross court to Riley Jackson. Shot is wide and out of bounds. Point to the Cavaliers. As Larger will check into the front line for Lehman. This is number 21, Maddie Mcfarland for Lehman serving. Right down the middle is Kessler off the block and the kill.
You could see it coming. Her pass went to the setter, and good timing for Kessler. She now, on the day, had 5 in the first set, 3 in the second, and 6 in set 3. So now her 15 kills in the match. And like you said, it go along with 6 blocks.
Lehman back on the attack. Here's Larger. Far side picked up by Kessler. Back to Kessler. Nice save there by McIver. A little too far though into the net. Another kill for Kessler.
She's just a junior too, so you'll see her again next season.
McIver with the dig. Over to Larger. Dug out of the back row by Jackson. Back over to Lehman's side. Right down the middle, Schutt. A little too much on that one, goes out of bounds.
Didn't get on top, and when that happens, it just kind of floats and couldn't drop it down. It lands just out of bounds. Again, a 3-point cushion now, or a 3-point lead for the Tigers.
Davis serve, picked up in the back row and pushed across. Up to the front, right down to Hickey. She'll pick it off. And back on the attack here is Lauren Mcfarland. Frieders over to Kessler, just bumped across. Schutt with the push, dug up by Jackson Center. Nobody getting a real solid hit here thus far. Here's Schutt with the soft shot, and she'll record the kill.
Again, kind of an awkward series there. Neither team great rhythm or great offense. Couldn't get into the system, but a heads-up play by Schutt, able to put it right out of the reach of the defenders and results in a 4th Cavalier point.
Lucia checks back into the front line for the Cavaliers. That one dumped across by Kessler and pushed over to Larger. Dug up again by Kessler. They push it back to her. Blocked at the net by Lehman, and Sosby will bump it across on 2. Quick setup to Lucia. Been very successful this afternoon with that play.
Her 10th kill of the match, her first one here in game 4, now 10 on the afternoon for Lucia. She's just a sophomore as well. A few sophomores on Coach Snipes' team, getting some varsity experience and a lot of playing time.
Kessler tried to bump that one across, didn't clear the net. We're even now at 6.
Mentioned Coach Snipes, again, his 23rd season, 468 wins, 127 losses, and 3 state titles in his tenure as head coach.
This one pushed over to Larger, dug up by Sosby. Back to Sosby, she'll bump it across. Nice strong hit from Sosby, records the kill.
A rare kill from a libero position, but able to get it well enough for the 7th Tiger point.
Little miscommunication by Lehman, though, able to get it across. And on the other side, Jackson Center can't handle it.
Don't know if it was a hit that they couldn't handle. It was just the first touch was handled. It just dropped as sometimes, and I don't remember who hit it, but sometimes if you hit it, the first ball to the setter, that throws everything out of whack because now someone else has to step up and take the second touch.
Ace recorded there for Lauren Mcfarland to give Lehman, I believe, their first lead here in set number 4, 8-7. Dug up by Plattfoot. Back row Kessler just catches the tape and gets the lucky bounce.
Had a missed hit in her last attempt, I believe, when she tried to kind of guide it over, this time from the back row. Hit it, fortunate, though, to get it to drop. It had 50-50, if you will, at the net. It was able to touch the tape and fall on the Lehman's side.
Quick set for Lehman, goes back to Jackson's side. Nice dig there by Larger. Can't get that one to go across.
Sometimes those hits just look like they're thinking about it too much. I don't want to hit it out, and I don't want to hit it too hard or too soft, and then you just kind of hit it like with a noodle arm, and there's no power.
Served there by Plattfoot, picked up by Lehman, and bumped across. Here's Jackson Center. Plattfoot sets Hickey down the middle. Nice shot for the kill.
Elizabeth Hickey, her first kill of game 4. That gives her 8 in the match.
Plattfoot back to serve. 10-8 here in set number 4 in favor of Jackson Center. They're up 2-1. This is a must-need win for the Lehman Cavaliers. Here's a set over to Larger. Cross court on the line. Nice shot. Coach Metz not happy with that call. She is sitting right there in front of it.
It's a tough spot to be in. The ball coming quickly. If your line judge is bang, bang. They don't have the ability, the advantage, if you will, of being away from it, seeing the ball land. And whether it was wrong or right, I don't know. But some fans felt like it was the wrong call. And I guess it's too bad they're not down there doing it.
As we play on.
It's easy to shout from the stands.
That's right.
Down there.
Frieders with a nice touch across records the kill for Jackson Center.
Should I get off my soapbox before
no, it's
I say
fine.
something? Okay.
We've all been there for sure. Sosby back to serve. Jackson with 11-9 advantage here in set 4. That one dug up by Sharkins, tracked down by Mcfarland, and free ball across by Schutt. Pushed over to Frieders on the run, and she hits it to the back line in. You'll see the replay here. Good placement. Good wind up and run. It's right on the back line. Good shot there by Frieders. Sosby with the ace.
Just misplayed by the Cavaliers, and they're going to take a timeout.
We'll take a break as well. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp to hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
Set number 4 here at Lehman High School. Jackson Center Tigers on top 13-9, and they lead 2-1.
They need a break, and sometimes after a timeout, teams will come back and hit it in the net or out of bounds, but Sosby doing a nice job to avoid that mistake, and Cavaliers need to get the ball back and get on offense and fight into this 4-point deficit.
Hussey, though, unable to handle that one.
Just mistimed it again. When things don't go well, I think you start thinking about things too much, and we've seen a few attacks by the Cavaliers where it's just not been a solid smack of the ball or a solid attack, and 9 times out of 10 it'll result in a hitting error.
Nice dig in the back row there by Sosby, but Jackson Center not able to track it down, so a point will go to Lehman. Much needed point as they trail by 4. Lucia back to serve. Strong serve dug up by Pipke. Front row bumped across by Frieders. Good opportunity on the wheel, and that one is deep and out of bounds. Off of Schutt.
Tough break for the Cavaliers. That would have, again, gotten them into that margin where they haven't been in a while. And again, now they fall back to that 5-point deficit. And speaking of serving, the Tigers have not had a service error since way back in game number 1.
That one blocked at the net by Schutt, never cleared. So a 4-hit violation will record the point for Jackson Center as they now have a 6-point advantage.
So good serving now by the Tigers. They have put the pressure, if you will, on the Cavaliers to make the plays.
Pushed up front on the overplay to Kessler. She'll knock it home, and things rolling well for Jackson Center. Timeout Lehman. We'll take a quick break as well. You're watching high school volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
We knew that we could use Hometown Opportunity as an avenue to reach out to people, not just in this community, but across the state.
Hometown Opportunity was my saving grace, honestly.
We viewed it as a great resource for us to get the word out about our company.
I saw all the commercials, billboards, and I thought, just give it a shot, why not? And they offered me a photography job on the spot, which was thrilling because I've been searching for months.
The Hometown Opportunity website definitely makes that connection.
Welcome back to Lehman. We're here in set number 4 as the Jackson Center Tigers on top 17-10.
The first timeout didn't help, if you will. See, went to the second timeout, can break the Tigers' offensive string or the momentum they're on. Not a good offensive system there for the Cavaliers, and Jackson Center takes advantage of it.
Yeah, that one set up over to Kessler. Usually good things happen there, and they did again.
She now has 5 kills in set number 4. A solo block as well. She's had a good afternoon. Made things very difficult when she's been given the opportunities and taking advantage of it.
Pipke with the serve, dug up by Sharkins and knocked across and blocked again by Kessler. She has owned the net from about the second set on.
And she had a block in set 1, a couple block assists in set 2, 2 solo blocks in set 3. And 1 each here, a solo and an assist here in game number 4.
Ace there recorded by Pipkin. And now Jackson Center with a 10-point advantage, and Lehman in a tough spot here as this is a must-win game.
Down 10 with 5 to go. It's very difficult to climb back.
Pushed up front to Lauren Mcfarland, back to Maddie Mcfarland, dug out by Plattfoot. Nice block at the net, tipped across Lehman's side. Lehman over to Maddie McFarland, blocked, and under the net goes Kessler.
Went down.
Hope she's okay. She got tangled up there with teammates a little bit.
awkward silence here
Yeah.
on both sides.
She seems to be all right. She got up pretty quick and got out of the pile. Alexis Snipes will check back in for Lehman. And Snipes will serve. The hard shot deep and out of bounds.
First service error of the game for the Cavaliers, and not that you ever want them, but boy, when you're at the point of the game, you hate to get them already down 10 with now just 4 to go.
Frieder's serve dug up by McIver and pushed across by Lauren Mcfarland. Right down the middle is Kessler. She tries to bump it across, dug up by Snipes. McIver over to Maddie McFarland. Dug up back row, tracked down by Kessler, but a double hit there. I'm not sure it would have mattered as the ball was going out of bounds. So good point there for Lehman. Larger checks back in. Maddie McFarland to serve. Dug up by Pipke. And right at the net, got a violation against Lehman. As Hickey will check back in, Brianna Davis will check in, and also number 30, Plattfoot will check in, all for Jackson Center. Schutt checks back in for Lehman. Push to the front, right to Schutt. Can't get it across, blocked at the net. Free ball to Jackson. Gonna go right to Hickey, she's gonna dump it across. Nice save by Snipes. Again, Lehman with the save, chance for an opportunity here. Laura McFarland's shot picked up back row by Davis. Here is Plattfoot, blocked at the net by Larger, but Lehman unable to come up with that one. A tough battle there for 1 point.
5'3" senior Madeline Plattfoot, her first kill of game 4. A big answer again to a kind of long volley and puts the Tigers just 2 points away.
Larger shot dug up by Pipke. Back over to Kessler, and that one's roped to the other side for the kill. And match point, 12 match points here coming for Jackson Center. Davis back to serve. Jackson on stop, 24-12. Dug up by Lehman. Pushed over to Lauren McFarland. Frieders with the dig. And a lift called there on number 12 who just checked in, Andrea Allenball for Jackson Center. A little bit of life left for Lehman. Schutt to serve. Picked up back row Davis. Kessler with the kill, and that's going to do it. As Jackson Center takes the 4th set, 25-13. We'll take a quick break and be back with our post-game wrap-up. You're watching high school girls volleyball on NKTelco Sports.
For over 27 years, the knowledgeable, reliable, and experienced staff at Lamb's Insurance Agency has been providing superior auto and home insurance to the people of West Central Ohio and Indiana. The team's understanding of the agricultural community and farming operations is second to none. We support the local communities because we are, well, local. If you are looking for excellent claim service, stop by or call today for your quote. Lamb's Insurance Agency, representing Ohio Mutual Insurance Group.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers, to families with the pitter-patter of little feet, to teenagers taking over the kitchen. 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
Welcome back to Lehman High School as the Jackson Center Tigers are victorious in 4. Here with our post-game stats is Mr. Jeff Henshin.
Well, the Tigers take advantage of some good hitting, attacking, if you will. They end the game with 50 kills, the Tigers do, compared to 41 kills for the Cavaliers. Also got good net play as a team defense. Did the Tigers, recording 8 blocks, and the Cavaliers with 6 blocks. And the Tigers also a couple more aces. They end the match with 5 aces compared to 3 for the Tigers. And they prevailed today in a match that went 4-1 in favor of the Tigers, and they were led by their 5'11" junior, number 13, Raquel Kessler. She had 21 kills on the afternoon and recorded 7 termination blocks, so she was very active at the net for the Tigers. And also in double figures with kills was the 5'6" junior, Caroline Frieders. She ends the match with 11 kills and a block as well. For the Cavaliers of Lehman Catholic, a couple girls in double figures with kills. Maddie Mcfarland ends the match with 11 kills and a block. And a sophomore, Olivia Lucia, ends the match with 10 kills along with 4 blocks. Abby Schutt recorded 7 kills, and Lauren McFarland had 6 in the losing effort for the Cavaliers of Lehman. And Greg, you look at the net play that they got, the Tigers did, just more points from attacks, winning that margin by 9, and didn't commit as many errors. Remember that first set? They actually won the set with 6 service errors.
Right.
Did not commit another service error the rest of the match, and they prevailed and hold on and pull away in that 4th set a little bit decisively and earned today's match win 3-1.
And it really just got things going with Kessler a lot in the 3rd and the 4th sets especially. It didn't feel like it so much in the first 2, but a good, strong match there for both teams. Lehman just coming up a little bit short. So our player of the game for the Lehman Cavaliers is going to be Olivia Lucia.
Yeah, she ends the game, as I said, 10 kills on the night along with 4 blocks for points. Did what she could to keep the offense for the Cavaliers in the game, and she came up with a nice afternoon, and good job. Congratulations to the 5'9" sophomore, Olivia Lucia.
Yeah, she did a nice job at the net with those quick service sets that Lehman ran quite a bit for her this afternoon, but fortunately Lehman falls short as they lose in 4 sets to Jackson Center. That's going to do it for us here this afternoon. Thanks for watching. I'd like to thank our director, Isaac Sell, our assistant director, Tyler Wolf, our camera person, Bryce Hamrick, my partner, Jeff Hench, and I'm Greg Burning. Thanks for watching and have a great day.